Why do I not hear music? I said. Well, apparently things don't work right away or something. Oh. Okay, well, we might have to sit without for a little bit. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that. Okay, that works. Apparently YouTube's having problems. Well, anyways, happy Tuesday. Hello. Hopefully you don't have to just hear me for the next whatever. That would be horrible. There we go. Okay. YouTube Music was having problems. There we go. Okay. Very fitting. Everything was kind of upside down for a sec there. Turn that up a little bit, but apparently it doesn't like being turned up. So, I kind of went through last time what I needed to get done here, but I can't remember. So the beginning here.
The Equestrian Council convenes. The Equestrian Council.
Okay, yep. So the beginning here is good.
The Equestrian Council convenes.
Yep. All I have to do is fill the audience. So I'm gonna mark those green that are done. I'm gonna consider the audience the actual final step, just because I can't touch them anymore until this is done. So
We must meet the threat with our valor.
hello, Fox Mayhem. How are you doing this fine Tuesday? Hello, Syl as well.
We must meet the threat with our valor. We must meet the threat with our.
I have him move his eyes a little bit so he doesn't look so much like he just is a robot.
Must meet the threat with our valor. Threat with our.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I can provide some entertainment. Wish I could make it more often, but getting there. Just takes time, and I'm very distracted by anything that's not being productive. But I think everybody knows how that feels to a degree. Especially during, like, I originally thought that the sorry, I was turning it down a little bit. The COVID thing was gonna be like, oh, I'm spending more time at home, I can get more stuff done. It's the opposite. Like, I feel like before, when I was at home, it was like, I'm here, I can get some stuff done, and now I'm here all the time, and I have less motivation, which is really annoying.
Our blood, indeed with our very life.
There it is. So we're here, and I want to have the eyes move.
Our blood.
Oh, I have to select something for that, don't I? There we go. Oh. No, I can't do that. I can go into here. Even that doesn't work. I have to move it.
Red with our valor, our blood, indeed with our.
Okay. And for those that haven't been on here before, what I'm working on now is actually not a me thing. We're helping Prince Whatever with an animation, so this is just my portion of it. But I am getting close to at least being done with my portion, which the purple is nothing. It's just this portion. Which is just if anybody's seen Spaceballs, that would be an interesting one. No, Starship Troopers. I was gonna say Super Troopers. Like I had the first and the last word. I just couldn't remember the mix. Starship Troopers. It's a parody from their what do you call it? Their advertisements they would do.
Our valor, our blood, indeed with our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now and always.
Her Highness Princess Celestia.
Celestia has been done for a very long time. I'm just mainly filling in the background here, so I'm trying to get everybody to move.
Announces plans for a counter-offensive.
I kind of still think that Cadence is doing a little bit more of a dance
Announces plans for a counter-offensive against Her Highness Princess.
than she looks like she's like
Always,
yeah.
always.
Her Highness Princess.
Let me slow her down a little bit. Maybe that'll do it. Stop dancing so fast. Or she has to pee and I'm just telling her no.
Rules Equestria now and always.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans for a counter-offensive.
God, I don't like that.
Her Highness Princess.
Even if it's faster.
Her Highness Princess Celestia.
Should I even care though? Oh no, this shot's pretty in focus.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans for a counter-offensive against the.
I could. It's not really. It's. Have you seen? He has the. I forgot the names of all the songs, but there's a 4-part song from his Reimagine CD that has, and 2 of them have full animations with Chrysalis and Changelings. This is a part for that. I don't know the full details much more than that, but this is just the one part that I was given. So there's a couple. There are multiple people working on it, but I don't think it's a collab like some of the other stuff he's done before. Can't remember the name. The big one that like was big at BronyCon last year. I remember it. But that one is not the same type of thing. No, I just asked if he needed some help with stuff, and this is what I was given. So I like working on my own stuff, but sometimes it's nice to be given something to do, because it helps get you out of your comfort zone sometimes, and so it's nice. And in this case, I wouldn't have been something I'd ever make, and I hate doing audio work. So in this case, the audio was all done, so that's perfect. But it's nice just for being able to just do something a little bit different. So. Like Celestia, I haven't really done much detailed lip sync for, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Even I hate lip syncing for sure. That was the part that took this the longest because I kept pushing it off forever. But it was nice being able to do something a little different for a lot of it. Nice, actually, I still have to go back and do her eyebrows. I keep forgetting about that. Things I don't like doing, I push off to last. Unless it's essential to determining if I can do a project, then I do it first. But she did come with some pretty sweet armor for this, though. Look at that. Made by Disco Pairs. pretty sweet. Look at those bump maps. Those look so good. You even got the scratches and the hoofs. It's pretty cool. I love it. So, and the fact that I don't have to animate the hair, that was the big first question of, am I going to have to deal with Celestia's hair? Because SFM doesn't handle hair physics very well. A lot of models that have hair don't have very long hair, so all it has to really do is like wobble. Anytime it has really long hair, you have to manually deal with, and it's annoying. Celestia's mane being so long and that's normally built to like flow, SFM can't do it. Not without adding a ton of bones. Yeah. But there's no, I can't like set an automated thing. The one of the difficulties with Celestia is her mane on most of the models only has 3 of her bones. You can't get a nice liquid flow like that. There are, I've seen some that can make it work, but they have to put like 60 bones in a small area, and then you have to like animate them all like shifting and moving, and it's kind of difficult. So, yeah, there's no model with Celestia that's like that. Thankfully, this one has her up there in a bun, so don't have to worry about it. Or not, like a ponytail. So it makes that a lot easier. I was actually just watching a thing recently that, because I do a lot of the hair animating manually because it's just better looking, I feel. And I was watching a thing about Final Fantasy Advent Children, and in there, Sephiroth has long hair. And at the time, the software wasn't really able to simulate accurate hair movement. So the only way that they were able to make it work was they had to manually animate the entire fight sequence. Which they said took a ton of time, but the end result is amazing. So I'm okay with it. But still, I feel for those guys. Okay, so no, what I was thinking about doing was I have 2 options. I can try to figure out how to make her like not look so weird when doing that, or I can instead try to bring. No, I don't have to do that either. Only problem is I can see underneath the desk. So I can't see underneath the desk here, so why should I even have it under the desk? So let's see if we can hide it. Best way to get rid of a problem is just delete the problem. Okay, so this is desk 1. There, so I can still give it definition, and it's not showing from behind. That might actually work perfect. I think I originally had it there because I wanted to give them a little bit more feeling for it being a desk and not like a wall or something, but I don't think I care right now. No, it's probably just me overthinking it. Okay, so from this angle, it really doesn't change anything, still makes it feel like a desk, that's fine. With these shots though, I think they moved. No. Oh, good. I thought the desk were going to be in a slightly different spot. So, and if I do that...
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans for a counter-offensive against...
Okay.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans... Princess Celestia announces plans...
Perfect. The best solution is the ones you can just solve by being cheaty. I just gotta make sure that all the shots are filled in the same. Okay. Last thing you want to do is have one shot that's suddenly different. Okay.
Announces plans for a counter-offensive against the Hive's changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot.
Okay, so what did I need left here? I think they're basically done. I just need to do her eyebrows. I've already got the audience prepped. Oh, okay, so I have to get them to continue doing whatever it is they're doing on this one. So... don't think she was doing that in the other one. Okay, there we go. So she's doing her little dance. She does look to her... oh, she looks back. Perfect. That means I can skip right over that and go right to this. It's not long enough, though. Is that gonna work? Okay, did I just break her for this piece?
Would you like to know more?
Nope, she's fine.
Would you like to...
Doesn't time exactly, but who cares? At the end of this, when he says the
would you like to know more?
I'm pretty sure that there's going to be like the pictures fuzzed out and there's going to be an overlay, so I literally don't care what the or after that point, I don't care about having unique motions. So I can't just have them sit there and just do nothing. The audience is going to do that. That's fine. But I can't just have anybody just like up here kind of just sitting stoically. So the idea is in this part I have to do at least one little motion, but after that, who cares? For the audience though, this was a chore to make them all look like they're doing unique different things. Oof, actually, hold on a sec. Okay. You two. You are moving in sync. That is incorrect.
In Manhattan, the Equestrian Council.
There we go. I think I see somebody. Okay, those two are also doing that. It's minor, but. Okay, they're moving in sync now. Okay, these two are also moving up and down at the same time, but it doesn't matter because it's different things. Okay. I want to make it feel random.
In Manhattan, the Equestrian Council convenes. In Manhattan, the Equestrian Council convenes.
Okay. It's doing pretty good now.
In Manhattan, the Equestrian Council convenes.
Since there's some new phases, so this is going to be you'd think a hassle if you use SFM. Probably not. And just be like, there's a lot of ponies. That's awesome. But how do you animate all these uniquely? So what I did was, nope. Well, actually, you know what? The coloration is kind of close, but it's not. To make this work, because SFM has two limitations that I had to worry about. One was the amount of memory, and the other was my patience. So, to deal with the memory, because I wouldn't be able to put this many ponies in, SFM's 32-bit, it would have ran out of memory, that's what this group was over here for. These are my my copy-paste group. So, if you look at the QD marks for these, all the females have a fish, and all the males have a piece of cheese. So what I did was I loaded up 7 different models that looked different. So you can tell they all have different hair and different eye color. And I then redirected all of their textures to the same file, which was a white base where all of them were just a slight off-white. And then I used the color overrides within the engine to just tell it to add color to it. So what it ended up doing was it allowed me to utilize 7 unique models and then 1 unique texture for female and 1 unique texture for male. Same with hair. And in memory. So I don't have 7 unique textures. Or in this case, to try to get it up to 21, I don't have 21 unique textures. I have 2. So it keeps the memory way, way, way down. So if I go to any of these audience people and I say for, need my base, there we go. If I go to this one right here and I say remove base or remove overrides, it's going to go to this white base. So this is what it actually, every pony looks like technically. And then I just use the color overrides to make it look different. So there is, if I were to load like this number probably alone of unique ponies, I probably would already be hitting memory limit and crashing. But doing this allows me to have this many rows, this group that I still got to put in the audience, and probably 2 to 3 more of these groups. So it keeps memory super, super, super low, and still having tons and tons and tons of unique ponies. Well, hello, Blurred. So what this essentially is end up doing, and thank you, is it's allowing me to have only 4 unique males, 3 unique three males, 4 females, but then by recoloring them, they all feel different. So it takes 21 unique ones. And then if I think this is 2 different groups that filled this area. That's quite a bit. And then for the patience part, I actually had created a thing over here, which is I had made, I got rid of the bookmarks apparently, but every 3 seconds she has a different thing she does. So she looks left, or looks to her right, looks to her left, yawns, kind of shakes her head, sorry, autosave, looks at her hoof, talks to her right, idles to her right, idles to her left, and then talks to her left. And then this is just the standard, like sitting still. So I took those little 3-second chunks and I would just randomly copy it amongst the crowd, and within a 9-second gap. So I'd pick the first, second, or third of that 9-second. And then after I'd copy paste it to everybody in those random pieces, I would then shift and move the time of everybody so that everybody was slightly off from each other and not timed together. And it actually turned out pretty good because I can make, like, in about 20 minutes, I can add another like 21 ponies. So it's actually super convenient and quick. And then later they have to do a little hoof thing, the clapping, the applause. And I didn't want to have to go through and add it to everyone uniquely. So I instead went here, grabbed the same pony, didn't change the route. You can see that the route is still the same. And just put them down in the position. So now I can go through and copy paste, because the roots of everybody is in the correct spot in the chair, copy paste the animation without the root, and it just puts everybody standing down in front, making this part of them doing that super easy, where I just go to one copy, or go to one paste, then go to the next pace, next pace, next pace, next pace, and I just keep going down the road. And then when I'm done, I just throw the timing off, and some of them I shrink and contract to make them go faster or slower. And then a couple of them I just kind of I churned them, put a couple closer to others, just to make it so it's not robotically positioned at just the right distances. The reason for all this is there is no way, even with those memory restraints and savings, that I can fill every one of these chairs. It's impossible. I'm probably going to be able to get to about here. Because when I turn the lights on right here, and I'm in this mode, it's actually processing it as if it's rendering a frame. I'm only set to if you can see down here, the sample size, which says 1 out of 32. So I'm set right now for my preview to only do 32 passes, which is very low. A final 64 is about the minimum you want to go, and 128 to 256 is what I recommend. And this passes means it keeps going over and cleaning it up, so you have a much smoother final. Depth of field gets cleaned up, and motion blur gets cleaned up. If I have that, it's set to 32, just with what's on there right now, you can see it's taking quite a while to do a single frame. And as I add more, it's going to get harder and harder. And this is the reason that I haven't actually done it yet, is because if I want to go into this mode, this is the frame rate I'm running on to move around. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to finish everything else first. But if I push the engine too hard, it might have the inability to actually complete the render, and I don't want to deal with that. And so I know I'm not going to be able to fill every chair. So instead, I'm going to fill up to about as much as I can get to safely. Then save the file as like file_1, then, or group 1, then move everybody in these chairs to the other back chairs, save that as group 2, then move everybody again to these chairs and save that as group 3. I'm going to render them individually, and then I'm going to go in After Effects and mask out the empty chairs to show, so all 3 will be overlaid. And I know that works gloriously because of other stuff I've done before, where as long as the camera is exactly the same, well, really not just the camera, if you do a render and then you render again in the same circumstances, so if you don't have particles, it doesn't really matter even. As long as you just render again, you're fine. But if you have particles, you have to make sure it runs the same. But as long as it's the same amount of time, it's identical. There's really no differences. Particles can have some variances to it, depending because of how that does with random numbers. But even then, they're the same as long as they had started the render at the same time. I have had issues with ones not, because if a particle is running throughout the whole thing and you start it midway through the particle, it has to figure out what the particle is doing, and it's not always the smartest about that. So, but that does have some cool uses. To me, this is one of those things that is super, super useful to know about if you do. So, like, say if you look at Remembrance on here, that's what I did here. So I did a render with nobody in the shot, and then I did a render with Applejack in there, but I did it with Applejack being twice as bright. So I took all of her colors and said, make them twice as bright as normal. And you can do that. You just kind of tell the colors to do double its brightness. And the reason for that is because when you make something partially invisible, it kind of like fades and darkens. It's just part of being not seen. So by brightening it, it made it feel like the Applejack was as bright as Twilight, or at least similar to, but that she was transparent. Also, it got rid of a lot of the darkened shadows on her side. So, because I used self-illumination so that it didn't cause the shadows to go through or to show, and then that made them feel like they weren't actually in that environment. But it's just you did the render with and the render without overlaid on top of, where the one that with Applejack was at 50%, and you literally can't tell the difference. I could just drag the slider back and forth, and the only thing that I could notice was that she was fading in and out of existence. I did a lot of tests with that, and another big one was this one. At the end here, the transition here was between two different maps and two different renders. So in the actual file, which she would walk up into a black void, and then I had another render where she was walking out from underneath the ground, clipping, and then popping up into the top here. To make them work, then I just copied and exported the camera, her motion, the door frame, the stairs, and some of the wall into their own little separate files, and imported it into this file. And since they were all the same, I then masked the render along this line. So she's actually walking between two completely separate renders. But it allowed me to have her walk from an area that I could light the way I wanted to into an area that wasn't. And it was a very complicated shot, and it was one of the first shots I actually worked on. Once I started working on this later half, once I started getting into this portion, I immediately jumped to that because I knew that technically that masking worked, but knowing it works in theory in that sense and actually making it work were not the same thing. So that's what I actually went and did. That's where I brought up before, where if I always save the hard stuff for last, unless it's something that could be detrimental to the completion of the video, then I will do it first. And that was one where I kind of jumped right to it, because if it didn't work, I had to figure out something completely different. So yeah, it's just a tool in a library of other tools. But in this case, I knew there was no way I was going to be able to do it. For instance, in this video, with the amount of people that were in this shot, I worked on this entire video. Everything that's in this entire video is under one save file, except this one shot. It took up so much memory alone to have that many ponies that I had to make a separate save file. And even then, all of, like, in this area, probably like right here, they're all unique loaded models. Everything past that, I actually use that same strategy I'm using for the crowd in that thing, where these are all, I think 3 male and 3 female, and then like 4 retextures of each, and then they go backwards. But this one I didn't do the color override. I actually did unique textures. Texture override is way more efficient. And then I had a couple other ones that I put in here for fun. Like I have Blackjack over here. I thought I had Little Pip in there too. I don't think that's her. No, that's a Pegasus. I swear I had Little Pip in here too. Might be back here. And that's me. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I threw in for fun. I think this one was one I threw in for fun. Yeah, I don't see any others like it. This, I believe, was a different model I used in a different video. And at the time, I can't remember all the details for it. But yeah. Some of my favorite things are having a limit and then figuring out a way around it. Oh, yep, sorry, Sil. Have a good one. You're probably gone already, but have a good night. Okay. So this is good. I copied Cadence over, so she's doing a little dance now. Sure, she's clipping in her desk though. There we go.
Would you like to know? It's the hive, source of the changeling invasion that destroyed.
Let's just have her churn to look at the crowd, I think. So how's it doing, good Blurred? How has your week been? Oh, it's too quick.
The changeling invasion that destroyed. The changeling invasion that destroyed. Changeling invasion that destroyed. The changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. The changeling invasion that destroyed.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Invasion that destroyed. The changeling invasion that destroyed. Invasion that. So the changeling invasion that destroyed. Changeling invasion that the changeling invasion that destroyed. Changeling invasion that destroyed. Changeling invasion. Changeling invasion that destroyed. Changeling invasion that destroyed. The changeling invasion that destroyed.
Music's working its way in. So the horizon only go down, but they're still looking that direction, so I need to offset that. So I need to go to the right.
Changeling invasion that destroyed.
Okay, that's fine.
Changeling invasion that destroyed.
And then she probably has to have her head go down a little bit. There it goes.
The changeling invasion that destroyed. So the changeling invasion that destroyed. So the changeling invasion that destroyed. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed. The invasion that destroyed source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Against the hive. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed
Okay. I think Shining is kind of just doing his dance.
It's the hive. Source of changeling against the hive. Hive. Changeling invasion that destroyed.
I think I'm gonna have him. I think I just need him to look around a little bit. It's boring stuff, but it's you know, it's not nothing exciting for them to be doing. They're not. I don't want them like hooping and hollering and throwing hoofs around or spilling water or spitballs. I want them to be just in the background, but they need to be alive.
Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Source of the source of the source of the changeling.
Okay, we'll do that. So then he's just going to put his head back a little bit. Ooh, not like that though. That's fine.
Destroyed Canterlot. Destroyed Canterlot. Hive. Source. Hive.
Okay, and then we'll just see if I tilt his head a little into this one.
The hive. Source. Hive. Source of the changeling
Okay.
invasion that destroyed Cancel. Source of the change.
Okay.
Hive. Source of hive. Source of the change. Hive. Source of the change. Hive. Source of the change.
Okay. I'm just gonna be lazy and getting the rest of it in there. Oh, this is guess.
Destroyed Canterlot.
Okay.
Destroyed Canterlot. Hive. Source of the change. Hive. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. The hive. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Would you like to know more?
Okay, so Shining's done. The Spitfire is kind of doing stuff. Wait, she's supposed to be looking from the other direction. She was looking to her right here. Yeah, and I don't think I want to have her... You know what? Actually, no, I can do this. We're going to take... Because I don't want to have the same motion exactly. But you can have it partially. I'm not having Spitfire applauding because I feel like in her position she would probably not be. She would probably be instead looking out for danger. Or just being Spitfire. So this works, but what I'm going to do is, so it's probably not going to be the same exact position. It's close enough. But grab her face, and we're going to say in about half.
The hive, source of the changeling invasion that destroyed.
So in the beginning here, she did a full turn from her one side to her other. Mainly look at Celestia. And here she's going from that direction and then just a little bit forward. So it's not the same thing. But it was also, like, you know, doable in 10 seconds. Which I love.
Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans for a counteroffensive.
Okay, one thing with Luna I want to change here. She kind of gets downtrodden. Her tail, which I think, is it completely done with jiggles? It is. Okay, I want to have her tail get sad. I mean, she's not getting sad, it's just her tail. It's a bad case of tail sadness.
Celestia announces plans for a Celestia announces
Okay.
plans for a
Yeah, I can just do an approximate with this one.
for For a counteroffensive against the hive.
Oh,
A counteroffensive against the
it's like pretty damn close.
offensive against the hive. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Would you like to know more?
She doesn't want it no more. She's sad. And emo. Okay, so I think
Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Plans for a
I might just keep her depressed. Oh yeah, she slows down though. She's gonna be a tougher. Oh, she had a lock. If I copy something that has a lock, it's gonna give me the coordinates based on its lock to the world. So it's gonna, because I brought up this once before, but if a bone isn't locked to something and it's just a part of another model, it's always locked. Just its world is how it's positioning in relation to its parent. So if something is locked, it's now in relation to the world, which is a completely different set of XYZ coordinates. So if I copy a locked bone and I paste it onto an unlocked bone, it's going to position it with the XY coordinates of the world in the XY coordinates of its parent structure, which, so in this case, when I had it locked, it was locking in terms of where it was in the world. But then when I pasted it onto the world and that wasn't, it's trying to figure out those same coordinates, but in a whole different world. And in most cases, it's way off the map, flying off into the way distance. So that's why that happens. Okay, so Twilight needs to be depressed, but all of this is slowing down over time. I didn't really think about it when I was doing it because I was just getting it done. And that's the other direction. So then this is the farthest this is going to go. That's probably, let's see here. I can make that work. I'm just going to extend this a little bit to get it closer to the timing for the other one. May not be perfect, but nothing is. We're going to blend this some more. Okay. Now we're going to... Her head and her neck should be the only things to move, because I did these very cheap. If that's the case, then I just find where it does the wobble, round it again. Okay, I'm going to lock the neck. No, lock the head. So your head's going to do a little bit of a... Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. I might not care. I think I'm just going to take that neck 2 lock and I'm just going to smooth it a bunch. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Yeah, that should work. Now, this is still not going to be perfect, but it's about getting close. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. Would you like to know more? Okay, and we'll just do that again. Where am I pasting? Is that good? Sure. Would you like to know more? I don't have to worry about it too much because you're going to be looking at her from this distance. So as long as she just does most of her motions. Would you like to know more? So I'm just going to take, I think, all of her and I'm going to smooth a little bit. We'll go smooth.
Offensive against the hive.
Her facial stuff, though, needs to be the same.
Against the hive, source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Ketchup.
And then she blinked here, and ponies need to blink more than once in their life, so we probably should have another one here.
Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed.
Okay.
Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed. Invasion. Source of the changeling. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Ketchalot. Would you like to know more?
And then we'll just do one more blink, even though it's not visible. Let's do another one like right here. Oh good, she's so sad. Okay, so Twilight's got her thing. And then I'm going to save on some of the animating stuff. So I'm going to take everything from before this point. We're going to go out. This actually saves file space. All that animation that's outside that visibility actually takes up file space. There we go. Plus, I tend to like to go through these and copy everything at one point and export them to their own little files so that I can use them and other people can use them. I have a file you can download that has all my animation and stuff like that. But it's easier to make that file if I do this for every shot. But I don't want to do that until you know you're 100% done, because like this case I was copying Spitfire over. Having some of the animation that crossed over the visible range, so this comes in handy. In this case, like all this extra motion, I don't need that. These shots should be done as long as I am just selecting non-audience. The audience is crossing over those ranges, and I will need to get rid of that. I don't need to get rid of them yet. I might need to retime them. Okay. So I think I still need to do Celestia. I did her first on everything, and now she's the last one here. Though I did also notice that she has no motion at the end of this. Just need to give her something.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces.
Oh, the step back? It doesn't really step back, it's just kind of float.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans for a counter. Announces plans. Celestia announces plans for a.
So let's make her, let's say, goes a little past her point and settles in. Because right now I think she kind of hits the back point and then stops. Yeah. So we're going to have her fade into a lower position. So deselect face because I don't want that doing anything. So normally what I do for that is I just pick something a little bit forward. So we'll say like that. And we'll just playhead it a teeny bit. Ooh, don't include hair though. Oh, her hair is a different thing.
Celestia announces plans for a counter. Announces plans for a counter. Announces plans for a counter. Announces plans for a counter.
There. So for just little work, I have her hit the top of her motion, and then just kind of roll into just a little bit beforehand. It lets me add extra motion with very, very little work. When she opens her eyes here, I want to have her go 0.
Announces plans for a country. Announces plan. Announces.
Her eyes themselves, these two.
Announces.
Let's go out a little bit more.
Announces plans for a. Announces plans for a.
And I'm going to have it then fade down just a little bit. Susie's going to be the one still up focus. A little bit less so now because everybody else is... I actually think Luna is going to be the biggest focus after she steps back.
Announces plans for a counteroffensive again.
And then I will just take the end here, and we're just going to round it.
Announces plans for a counteroffensive. Announces plans for a counteroffensive against the... For a counter plans announces plans for a counteroffensive. Announces plans. Announces. Princess Celestia announces plans. Announces plans. Announces plans for a counter. Celestia announces plans for a counter offensive. Announces plans for a counter. Announces plans for a counter offensive. Celestia announces plans for a counter offensive. Announces plans for a counter offensive against. Announces plans.
Have her eyes go wide here for a sec.
Announces plans for a counter offensive. Announces plans for a counter offensive.
Okay.
Announces plans for a counter offensive. Announces plans for a counter. Plans for a announces plans for a counter-offensive again. Announces plans for a counter-offensive again.
Okay.
Against the hive.
And now this is about... Do I need... The camera's moving, right?
Against the hive. Source.
Yeah, so I don't need to have her breathe. If I just moved her head, but the camera would stay like this, unmoving, you'd be able to notice every single pixel not moving. But the camera's moving. It hides the fact she is not moving. So, when she gets to this look, we will just have her look around a little bit, just like everybody else.
Against the hive. Against the hive.
Well, it's so much easier to do this when there's no other motion going on.
Against against the hive.
Loud. I'm subtle. Not as much. Yeah.
Against the hive. Against the hive. Against the hive. Against the hive. Against the hive.
Hello.
Hello. I know you've probably already eaten,
Yeah.
correct? I'm going to put in that cheese bread all the same. Do you want me to put in 2 pieces for you?
No.
Okay. You can have those at your leisure.
Against the hive.
I know how much you love them.
Oh yeah, Texas toast. Mm-mm.
Against the hive. Against the hive. Source of the changeling invasion.
Okay, so I actually want to have her maintain. What is she doing here? What are you saying? You're not supposed to talk here. That's just yeah. So I'm actually gonna go in. Kinda actually in 2/3. Because I don't want to just have her spin and rotate for every move. Sometimes when you go to look at somebody or something, you're gonna do just turn, like you may turn your whole body to look in one direction, but then just kind of do a sidelong look at the other direction. So that's the whole point, is to just kind of do I don't want to have her shifting completely, so I'm going to have her mostly shift to the one direction, and now she's just going to kind of turn her head to look over that direction. Maybe like this. So this is from here to here. So I gotta move her eyes. This is the angle that matters. So does that work? Yeah, it does.
The changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Against the hive.
I'm gonna take her. We're gonna delay it a little bit.
Against the hive. Source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Would you like to know?
And we're gonna go back to the position here. Welcome back.
There's more food now.
You were out of booze. Did booze run?
I was out of bread at work too, so I wouldn't.
Bread and booze.
Bread and booze. I didn't listen, by the way. There's Coke in there.
I'm not drinking sugar.
Fine, then I'll drink it.
You can drink it. I told you not to get it.
Yeah, but I figured you were just trying to be like, nah, I shouldn't. And my brain went, he wants to, though.
No, I was going to try to go back to the no sugar thing.
Well, it's in there if you change your mind. Hello, Blur. There's some Truly in there, too, but it's not cold.
Some what?
What are they
Oh,
called? Truly?
I told you not to pick up anything. Truly is at least different because I can. That's almost no sugar anyway.
Yeah.
But I say, oh, don't pick up anything. She's like, I should pick up stuff.
Yeah.
But if you say don't pick me up anything, my first thought is okay.
Means I don't want anything.
Yeah, you know what? I
never said I wanted that pie, but I like that pie. That's good pie.
No, you said, hey, we should pick up a pie sometime.
Well, I wasn't expecting it. It was a surprise pie.
Surprise pie. Surprise.
Surprise.
Against the hive. Source of the hive. Source. Against the hive.
I think I have no food on my stomach, and the first thing I do is start drinking. It's awesome.
Sounds like a very Michael thing to do.
Invasion that destroyed.
It makes me a cheap date, though.
The changeling invasion that destroyed. The changeling
Look at those
invasion that
horses.
destroyed.
Look, there's no bouncy.
So the
I like the
changeling
bouncy
invasion that
horses.
destroyed.
Look at them go.
So the changeling invasion that destroyed.
I like to think they're just super excited because somebody said pizza. Yay, pizza.
They're excited because they were talking about the murder of another race.
I like pizza.
Invasion that destroyed.
I will agree.
Yeah, yay.
We must do genocide.
Celestia said we were gonna have a pizza party, guys.
She's like, I know we were talking about the murder of everybody, but I was also promised a pizza party.
Yeah, that's how these things wrap up. That's how they get people through the door.
What was it? There was something I remember watching where they were talking about that, where they're like saying to get people there, and they're like, tell people there'd be pizza. And they're like, why? Because nobody's going to come if there's not pizza.
It's a fair point.
But I forgot what that was from.
Would you like to know more?
Oh, it's going to bug me. I can't remember where that's from now.
Would you like to know more?
Can't be a friend.
Well, you're not. I'm not going to know that. It's a very small reference to something.
Be surprised.
I don't remember if it's from a game, a cartoon, or a movie. Nothing.
The hive. Against the hive. Source. Against the hive. Source. Against the hive. Source. Against hive. Source. Changeling invasion that destroyed. Would you like to know more? It's the hive. Source. The hive.
Still too much.
I feel like this isn't the right one. I typed in people won't come if there's not pizza, and then the word movie, and it brought up the Green Book.
The what?
The Green Book. It's definitely not, no. Definitely no.
What is the Green Book?
It's a movie that won, like, Best Picture this year or something.
I love it's like, it won Best Movie this year, and you're like, you wouldn't have watched that. You don't have taste.
Yeah, you haven't watched any movies, like, recently that I'm aware of.
No, I haven't.
I haven't really either. I have made sure to watch those new My Little Pony episodes. Because apparently that's happening.
But it's done.
It's not. They lied. They lied so hard. There's been 4 new episodes. The last one was really good. It's all about Rainbow Dash.
No, they were done. with the
I feel like
with the people that made it previously.
no,
they
it's the same
were
people. No, Big Jim. I even looked it up on the internet. Big Jim was on Twitter. He's like, "Yeah, we made those episodes a while ago," and we're just like, "What?"
They probably were not allowed to say anything.
No, they weren't allowed to say anything. But now these episodes after
That
the
beep,
show.
did you need to do something?
No, it's on a timer. It's already in the oven. I didn't wait for the preheat to finish. I'm one of those people.
Oh.
But so yeah, there's been new episodes. The show's not over, and I feel like that scene from Austin Powers where he like.
Well, no, the story is over. They're just adding more to the other parts. Everything else is continuous.
Well, they've gone back to like all the episodes are about making the memory book. That's what they're all about. That's like the general premise, the theme. That's what I gotta pay attention to.
Is that the flavor alarm? Michael's flavor alarm is the fire alarm. Because he sets out the fire alarm more than a little bit. That's why. But that's not him. I think we made a pizza one time. There's just some cheese that got to the bottom, and like the other day it actually smoked because I didn't even realize it was there, and so it's just caused that a little bit. We just haven't gotten around to getting rid of it. So it just adds a nice Kentucky. I think smoke is going to be the Kentucky incense or the
Just burnt food.
just burnt food. Yes, Kentucky incense. I love smoky flavor, actually. I'd rather food that was overdone than underdone. Just from a flavor perspective, I just like the taste. I mean, that's the same reason I like coffee. I like coffee because I like that burnt dark flavor. So if I were to choose a steak that was overseared or understeered, I would prefer way over. So this one's tough because her head keeps moving, so the eye kind of moves too. This one kind of offsets it a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And this one. This one's probably not needed because I don't think you're going to actually see it. So I'm going to kind of rush this one. But you never know, and so I'd rather be prepared. This one just kind of looks up, so I'm not going to bother with that motion part. This one, though... Take a little bit from the left. Okay. And then we're going to grab everything here. And she ends her motion right about here. So we're going to grab just the end of it. We're going to blend it across. Okay. Same thing with the after this one. Motions.
There's this tiny horse on top, Derby. I'm aware of your shenanigans.
I love how, like, you're cooking things and you already are at risk of burning the place down. And then while in the kitchen, you make this surprise noise that you don't often make just because I moved a magnet on a picture.
You moved it on her face. It was intentional.
Maybe, but you don't have to. You jumped like you just started your arm on fire. And legitimately, if I had to think about which two you would do, I was thinking the arm first. And you're only microwaving things, but there is that risk of fire.
I've set myself on fire like twice in my life. I'm not going to do it again.
I know, and yesterday was one time. And yesterday was the first.
No.
Okay, she's very stationary at the beginning here, so I'm going to drag this a little bit into that one too. Well, not underdone. I'm not talking like that. So I'm talking like it's still within a good amount. But if I have to choose between, or if somebody gave me two choices of one that is regular done or overdone, I usually would choose the overdone. Really, I mean, I'm not talking about having a steak that's well done. No, not hell no. I'm on a good like medium rare or something. But like my favorite chips out of the bag are the ones that are the darker colored, or the burnt pretzels are my favorite. Those are the ones I like it a lot. Though I figured out the I used to get Cape Cod chips a lot, and Cape Cod has a brand or a type of the chips where the dark potato chips, you can get an entire bag of just those and nothing but those. And I found that I do like the darker chips, but I like them as a treat amongst other chips. Eating an entire bag of them is a bit much. It's too much. But when you mix it with the chips, the normal chips, then that makes that one taste that much better. It's like you can eat it. It's the treat, and everything else is for cleansing the palate, getting ready for that treat. Okay.
It's the Hive, source of the changeling invasion that destroyed Canterlot. Would you like to know more?
Should I do something with her tail? I think so.
Hive, source. Hive.
Yeah, I'll do one at a time.
This plate is very hot. It's burning my fingers.
You have paper towel underneath it.
Yes, that's to prevent the burning.
You weren't guarding the paper towel portion, were you?
Not entirely.
Good thing he had it there.
Oh, look at those horses. They're bouncy, bouncy.
They're plotting, and they're like the call to war, and you're just like,
I mean, no, I don't hear the call for war. I just see bouncy horses. I can interpret this scene however I want. They're having a pizza party and they're excited.
I just want you to like, you're gonna have like a seizure or something, and you're just gonna be watching like C-SPAN, and they're just gonna be like sitting in their chair, and the one guy like does this, and you're like, "Yay, me Romney!"
Yay! He's so happy.
You know who's the best one here out of all of them?
What? No.
But her, she's doing sad bouncy.
There's like 4 like recolors of Derpy in the audience. They're all the best.
It's sad bouncy.
She is sad bouncy.
But then you can do fast bouncy.
Oh, she's dancing now. She's like, I'll beat you with my dance off. You can't beat me. That's how I became princess. It's decided via dance offs.
It's in the "you got served" clause.
Yes. It's like you became a princess. The best answer.
Can't be a princess if you don't got the moves.
Right. Look, Celestia, she got the moves. Shining that armor back there, he ain't got the moves. He wishes he had the moves.
He doesn't have the moves?
You don't have the moves.
Look at him.
Look at no, it's just not. It's not.
What about her?
Well, of course she got moves.
But that has nothing to do with the moves. It's you being sexist.
No, she's a princess. That's how she became a princess. I mean,
They're calling you on your bullshit.
They know why they serve the princesses, because they got the moves.
Actually, I didn't like how she looked underneath, so I just blocked it.
Yeah, I get that.
Just the front legs just didn't look right. Oh, I wasn't doing him. I was doing her.
Hello, new peoples.
Hello, Jinxie. Thank you very much. Yeah, it has been a while. My day is going well. It is Tuesday. I have this bad thing of on Friday streams I write Friday stream, and on Tuesdays I write Friday stream. Like every day is Friday now because I've never left the house and the days just blend together.
When was the last time you left the house? Like, not going for a walk, but actually driving.
I did go for a walk earlier today and yesterday.
That doesn't count.
For drive, last Thursday for the audit, we had an emergency and I had to run to the office.
You were out of the house for like what?
2 hours.
20 minutes? 2 hours? Okay.
It takes 10 minutes to get there, but I ran to my car, drove there as fast as I could, ran into the building, tried to find something, couldn't find it, but then had to wait in case something did come up. So I sat there at the office putzing on my phone because I didn't have my computer or anything for about an hour, and then I just moseyed my way back. So, but yeah, that was the last time I did. And then the time before that was Saturday. We went to go get sociables.
Right.
And then the week before that was Saturday because we went to do sociables.
I mean, to be honest, all I've been leaving the house for is work and groceries, so I can't say too much.
Well, if it wasn't that, we would just have like a couple Saturdays where we did things with friends, and that would still be the only time you'd go out.
Well, yeah, but we did something almost every weekend.
Yeah, almost every.
Not that I don't mind, like, weekends of doing nothing. Sometimes. Weekends the only time I get 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, at least I do have work. Work is just, move to the other room. The only way I actually know what day of the week it is anymore is because of stream. Because it's either Tuesday or Friday. The problem is I'm starting to mix those two up.
But every day is just Friday now.
Mm-hmm. But now it's every other Friday I have off, so some of those even get confusing.
I'm one of the lucky individuals whose job is considered essential. So
lucky? There's like 60% of jobs are considered essential. So you're not lucky, you're the majority.
So lucky.
You're lucky to maintain employment. Because
Mm-hmm.
even some people that are considered essential lost their job. Because there's just not as many needed.
Not a restaurant position, Jim.
Well, there's more than just restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? That's not right. Yeah, TGIF. Except they're closed too.
I got some whiskey too, if you're interested.
I said don't pick up anything, and then you picked up everything. What kind of whiskey?
Like Windsor? Canadian whiskey?
Oh, okay. It's not a bad one. It's the big name brand one, but it's good.
Yeah. Nah.
I still have some Canadian whiskey.
You do?
Yeah, and I think I have like a third of a bottle of something. That was when I was going through just the liquor store saying, I've tried you, I've tried you, I've tried you. What about you?
Or more of a, I tried you, I liked you, I'm going to buy you again.
Well, I was doing that, but that's how I got to the coffee I like, because I went through a whole bunch of coffees and then just went back to the one I like. So I was hoping to find one I like.
You just made life difficult for yourself. You should have got Folgers and just stuck with it to your dying day. Then you would have never known, and you could have lived in ignorant bliss on cheap coffee.
I was told that happiness is like a knife in the arm, so I just stabbed myself in the arm, and I've been happy ever since. Right. I never went out, never did anything, because that is happiness. Why do I need anything else?
Right, exactly. Glad you understand.
No, I wanted to. There's a lot of different whiskeys to try at the MGM. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was just kind of going through, give them all a shot, and see if I can find one I like more. Though after going through them all,
I'm not even sure if they're open right now.
Canadian Club ended up still being my main favorite to go to, but as long as it's a glass bottle, because the plastic of some of them just went bad really quick. So far, glass has been lasting me a lot longer.
A lot of companies are switching to plastic bottles. I get why.
They only do it for the large amount because the glass is just too dangerous to transport, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's... the
750s and stuff, you'll always see those in glass. Just because people prefer it.
I have to imagine a lot of bottles don't survive transit, and they have to end up throwing out a portion of it.
It's not about... Even plastic... If a fork goes through a pallet, it's going to break whatever it hits, no matter if it's plastic or glass. If it drops, it doesn't really... If one breaks, it doesn't matter. They're going to throw the whole pallet. Food items are that way.
Yeah.
You can't... If we had any food when we were in shipping and any box was open, they wouldn't just say, toss the box. Because now there was a contamination potential. So they didn't want any of it. So
if one bottle breaks, the whole pallet's garbage.
You could, yeah. Or at least you'd be dealing with the logistics of it, or trying to get that figured out. So, plastic or glass doesn't matter. Glass is just more of a safety hazard to deal with, because it's the shards. But, I like...
I imagine it's heavier too, so it costs more for shipping.
But if plastic is sitting anywhere near a sun or in a hot heat source, it's going to permeate and cause the liquid to go bad. That's probably why the top of the refrigerator is not as good, because it's going to get warmer up there. But I had the same whiskey twice, and the glass one stayed good a lot longer. The plastic I ended up throwing away because it went bad.
That's something that confused me for the longest time. It's like, why isn't glass bottles more prevalent? Because glass is cheaper to make than a plastic bottle. But after you consider transit costs, the weight, the survivability of the bottles, glass just, it gets more expensive. Sand is more expensive than oil. Go figure.
Especially right now. Well, actually right now, probably oil.
Oil's pretty cheap, but I don't think we're running out of sand anytime soon.
I think with that, I only have like one thing left to do. I think for this shot, I'm going to get rid of Celestia's eyebrows completely. I think for this distance, you're barely going to be able to see them, so I'm not going to bother with them. Even if it means it disappearing between the two shots, I don't care. And the same thing for this one.
I figured he had those two wrapped up by now. The stage.
Right now, I believe. Let me double check this one, but I think this one is all done now. Yeah, because the last half I don't care about. So I think that is all good. I'm ignoring the ponies in the audience for that coloring. Go, Michael.
Look at them all. Yay, so much bounce. Look at them go.
We'll focus on the important ones.
No. Garbage horse. That horse is garbage. Look at him. He knows he's garbage.
How dare you say he's garbage?
Go to one of the 4 derpy clones. They're much better. You should be sad. I'd be sad too if I was that level of garbage. Yep. Oh, look at the horse next to her. Look how cute she is. She's a cutie.
See, the thing is though, she is also sad.
Why is she sad?
Because her...
Is it because she's next to that guy?
No, it's because that person next to him is her boyfriend, and now you just made fun of him, and now she is sad.
Well, she should dump him.
And
find one of the derpy clones. And
well, so now she's really creeped out. She's just gonna go away.
she should get away from him.
This is gonna be like leave me alone, you freak.
Well, at least she got away from him. She's better off. She just disappeared. She didn't know if she fly. Oh, you lost her.
Where is she going?
Forever. She escaped. You can't control her. No. she
Help me! Help me!
Like, I don't understand.
Help me! Help me!
No. I feel like she just like the drugs just kicked in. Oh no.
Okay.
Look at him fall or something.
Okay, so yeah, that shot's all done. So the main thing with this shot to do is, I'm just gonna do a quick review. So he's done. Yeah, he's done. Spitfire is just looking on. That's fine. She churns. That's fine. Her hair is not locked though. Why is her... Okay, her hair is doing something weird there. Okay. And then here I'm just gonna extend that out because something's being weird there. Actually, I'm just gonna do that. Okay. Don't care there. So now it's about saving so many. Oh yeah, double check. So Twilight does her sad thing, Cadence does her look thing, and we're all good. So okay, Spitfire and Shining Armor. Okay, Spitfire's gone at this point. I'll leave her. I'll leave some for animation just in case, but these two are definitely in there. This is about saving file space, saving render, reducing processing, all that. And just getting rid of some of the animation. So Luna is 100% visible the entire time. Or not 100%, but close enough. But I think the only thing I really need to do is Celestia's eyebrows in the shot. But I don't feel like I'm going to have enough time to actually do those because those are annoyingly time consuming. So, I'm going to hold off on that. But, so I'm just going to do some of these to clean this up. So, some of these parts I don't think are needed as much. This begin like off bits for process, like increasing efficiency, but does eat up file space. That's what matters. Like, I can go through here, and I bet you afterwards, if I check the file size, it'll actually be smaller. And not by much, but autosaves, big autosave files, or big save files will just take longer to autosave. So cleaning this up just helps drastically. So why is this pony separate? Why is he in there at all?
Which pony? Wait, there's a pony there. You've been hiding.
Yeah. Oh no!
Oh, it's hot dog pony.
Hot dog! Hot dog!
Hot dog! Yay! You can't delete hot
Hot dog!
pony.
Hot dog!
Hot dog! Yay!
And then he's just gonna sit in there. No, I'm gonna delete hot dog.
No, hot dog. We loved you. She's like, let's all have a moment of silence for hot dog pony.
If you, one of the big things with SFM though is yeah, things take a lot of time, but it's kind of a lesson in life that a lot of things in life take time. It's and it's taught me a lot of patience for things, and how to stay focused on tasks. Motivation is a whole different thing from that, but oh, hold on. Oh, I have to split this shot too once I do the eyebrows. I noticed it because of there's a visibility thing there. But it also, these are big projects. Big projects are nice when they're finished, but the problem is getting there. My favorite projects are the ones that are short, the ones that I can just have like a little one-off and I'm done. I really wish I could do more of those. That's kind of what the Rathalos things are, but I wish I could do more of that in this too, because just they're fun to do. You can throw something out in a couple days and you're done. I just keep getting stuck on this type stuff, or like I really want. There's another like long project I wanted to do from a song that actually just played a little bit earlier, but I never. I don't think I'll ever get to it.
Oh, I was really.
No, because you want it because it's shipping.
Because look, shipping videos and music videos are like my two favorite kind of pony videos. Because you got music's not good. Horses making lovey-dovey eyes and smooches at each other is good. What?
Just the way you said that.
It's good stuff. It puts this makes the creases of my face into the happy position.
It makes creases on my heart.
That too. But then, well, mostly that's the result of
This is
like
the pain.
cheese dogs.
Yeah, there's that. Oh, that one's already pretty good.
This booze probably ain't helping.
Okay, so this one I know is going to have some carryover. So Celestia's fine. But Luna and all of them. Oh, I already cleaned it up.
Don't be like that.
No, I already don't. Huh?
Don't tell him it's okay if he doesn't make the kissy videos. Be like, we want horses kissing right now.
To me, it's not even an enjoyment. It's I've always needed an outlet, and to me, this is an outlet. So there's enjoyment that comes with it, but it's usually not in the process. It's in some of the other stuff, and it's from learning. I like growing and learning, but I used to do Halo photography. That was my outlet for a while with Hacked Xbox and Halo 3. I got into website development to build a website for a clan for an MMO. Not an MMO. It's for actually Gears of War for a while. And I learned web development, and then I ended up building a calculator for a different MMO using some of the skills I learned from that website building, and did that for years. Learned a lot. Ended up going to school for it, and now that my job is actually using that knowledge that I got from doing a clan website or a MMO website to do it for a business. Similar. Anyway, so that knowledge all helped. But it was because I needed an outlet. But then I kind of got bored of that, and I moved on to something else. And that's what I tend to do. So when I started all of this, it was just my outlet at the time. I just ended up sticking with it longer than normal. Well, normally those hobbies only last like a year. I stuck with this one like longer than any other just because of like feedback stuff.
Look at all these people here to watch you do it.
But my motivation for working on stuff had that same hill as it always has. So as the first couple of years, I was really, really big into it, and then I pretty quickly dropped off into where I've been doing it as on the side. I don't work on it like 6-7 hours a day like I used to. I just work on it during streams and kind of when I just am bored. But I don't, it's not a job or anything. So, okay, those are all cleaned up. Which now I'm curious, because I got rid of a couple things, but I don't think I imported new models, no.
Yes, hello Jurassic. It is good to see you again.
Yes, hello Jurassic.
Always a pleasure.
So we're at 28.884. And now we're at 27, so I saved a megabyte. That's not too bad. Once I put
How
all
many
these
megabytes are you limited to?
No, save files I can have huge.
No.
But
I thought you were saying like this scene you're limited to like what is it,
Oh.
32 megabytes per scene?
no, 3326 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. It's whatever the maximum amount of RAM is for a 32-bit system.
Yeah. Roughly 32.
Okay, because it's
And then it's like not exactly that.
yeah, it's around 3.5, and but it depends. It's so on here when it starts getting up towards that range, it's dangerous. Anything over 3400, and it starts really, really getting risky.
Well, now that Valve's working on the Source 2 engine again, maybe you'll get that 64-bit one day. They'd have to make everything with this version
Everything
back and forth.
Everything that's on here right now probably won't port correctly. So any save files I have, it might import, but I'm guessing it's going to break a lot of things. And if it have to maintain all the functionality, so are they going to have overrides? All the important mods and stuff that I have here, are they all going to come with? So if I can't maintain the same functionality, to me, the memory's not worth it.
I feel like Valve's capable. It's just a question of whether or not they're willing or care enough.
If you find somebody that can collaborate with, that's awesome. I don't think it's needed though. It just starts small and know that if you don't start small, you're going to learn and improve to where you're going to end up redoing so much of your own work over and over again. It's going to just demotivate you. Because if you are, say you were working on the super cool project, the super long, like say, well, a minute and a half. And you, 20 seconds in, figure out a new thing that you can do that would definitely improve your previous work. So you go back over that 20 seconds. And then 30 seconds in, you figure out something else, and you're going back over that 30 seconds. So you're going to be learning so much that you're going to spend all your time redoing things. So if you start small, you can do all that learning and testing and playing around early on. Plus, if you go make a single video, it's probably going to be a single premise and a single feel. And that's not going to teach you much either, because you're going to spend all your time on just one thing. By jumping around mediums, so like making GIFs, making shorts, making loops, making cycles, that's where you learn. If you want to learn fast, it's to do as many different things as possible, as fast as possible. And then don't worry about making mistakes. Don't think about making it perfect. Don't look at it and say, "Oh, that's not very good." It's a stepping stone. If you expect to be able to shit out of your first work and it be a Picasso, that's not going to happen.
Picasso not maybe a good example, considering it's a jumbled mess.
It was a name. But it's going to be, it's taking the time to realize that you're improving. And I still see myself improving constantly. I've found over the last couple of years ways of improving the way that I do things. Maybe not as much for like some of the eye bits I've learned more on. Some of the ways that I meld things is different than I used to be. Working with Rathalos has taught me some things because it's a different type of model, and it's been fun doing something different. So, no, there's it's not that there's always room for improvement. It's you should always make room for improvement. Look at it and learn from it, but then call it good and move on. Go to the next one and make it better, and then the next one, make it better. Don't force yourself to, like, I have this problem of everything I want to make is I want to be better than or outperform the previous. So I always put more and more detail into stuff, and I've gotten to a point where I feel like I have to stop that, and I have to actually go back down the other direction of now. I know I just want to rush things. I just want to make it cheap. I know I can put the amount of detail into stuff, but now I'm just like, do I want to put that time into it? So I want to start doing cheap. I want to start half-assing things, because I think that'd be fun.
I think that would be amazing if you could put out a video like every month that's just complete garbage as far as what your standards are concerned.
How long of a video?
It doesn't matter.
I know, but like Rathalos videos I can do in like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And that's like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So
the length doesn't matter. Just have a funny idea.
I know, but that's the thing is if I can make something like that in an evening, I could put out a video every other day. But how do you maintain that amount of ideas? I would be able to.
Yeah.
And
smoke pot?
And if you put out videos in a consistent format, and then things change and you can't, then you're going to lose a lot of people very, very quickly. So it's because people see a trend. Yeah. I think it's better to that if you can if you can put out a video every 4 days, release it every 7, and then just backlog it. And then when you have to go on vacation, you're gone. You can just start putting out videos.
Sure, however you want to release it. But you just gotta make shitty videos fast.
Oh yeah, Jinxie about that SFM. I don't see them going back to Source Filmmaker anytime soon. They stopped updates, but it's not just updates on Source they've stopped it just in Source Filmmaker. It's Source in general. I feel that they've just stopped touching Source because there's no use in it anymore, that they're looking forward for Source 2, but I don't know anymore. Like, if you would ask me that like a couple years ago, it would have been like, yeah, it'd be great when it comes out. Now, is Source Filmmaker an important enough property for them?
I mean, they're still throwing updates at Half-Life.
Even
recently.
Yeah, but that was just the eye thing. It was a glitch they caused and they fixed it.
Yeah, but the fact that they're even still looking at it.
Yeah, but I don't.
It says something.
They have to have a team that does it. I wouldn't be surprised if that update was just somebody in their free time made it and they said, "You want to upload this?"
To my understanding, the whole workflow at Valve is essentially everyone there is allowed to work on whatever they want as long as it's beneficial to the company. Basically, they can say, if they wanted to, what's that one game where you shoot the discus back and forth, watch it, or whatever? Like, I don't know, it was one of Valve's early games. If somebody at Valve said, I think I can fix something or improve this in some way, Gabe would be like, great, do it. And that's pretty much the workflow. That, to my understanding, which is why Half-Life 3 hasn't still come out. It hasn't come out yet, but it has its ups and downs.
It's like, we have 18 games in progress.
Yeah.
None of them are near completion.
And none of them will ever be completed. This is pretty much what happens.
Valve Chess Simulator.
Oh.
Solitaire 2.0.
I mean, and even Gabe Newell admitted it. He's like, there's like been several different versions of Half-Life 3 that got started. But the whole idea of his is that unless you're passionate about a project, you shouldn't be working on it. So they would be passionate for like the first several months working on a new project, and then they would lose the passion just because the project would essentially get halted and then stopped altogether. And I guess Half-Life Alyx is the first thing they've been passionate about through to the end in 13 years. Well, no, they've had other games, but
Michael.
That doesn't release much. Look at those pawns go. They're slooping and sliding.
What was the first word?
Slooping.
What is slooping?
What those ponies are doing? They're slooping. They're slooping and sliding.
I would Google that term, but I have a feeling that it's not going to go well. So we're going to leave that as a Mikeism.
They were slooping.
Okay, cool. Well, good luck. I wish you the best with that. So I'm gonna grab, say this. Okay. Oh, you know, I know what I can do. Oh no, I can't grab that one. Right, no.
I thought you were just gonna copy paste the ones already sitting a lot. Like you really didn't need those other ones anymore. Well, don't delete them because they're adorable. But I mean,
is there enough variance in here to get away with it?
I mean, you already have every type of pony.
I was thinking of doing one more group and then starting a copy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he looked it up.
Well, it means slooping and sliding. The pawns, like that's what they were doing. They're slooping.
So, am I to assume that if a pony is slooping, that it is not child friendly?
Like the sloop and slide.
Michael, please stop using that word.
I don't know what it is. Now I'm curious.
Are you?
I don't know. I like slooping.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Something's not right here. Oh, here it is. If they sloop into the hoe, that's funny.
Don't be calling the ponies that. That's all.
Well, you did. It depends on what was the slooping or slooping.
It essentially just means a sloopine. Just essentially means lying on your back.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't say sloopine. I said sloopin. It's very
Slooping.
Slooping.
Slooping. You gotta search it correctly. Well, if there was a version of that word that was in the dictionary, yeah, that would be a little weird. Should I be worried that you're still poking around on there?
It keeps giving me, there's not very good.
I think you're just searching it differently. See,
Oh,
Jinxie
yeah.
Cake searched the word correctly, the one that you invented.
There's slumping. That's not slooping. I can't find no slooping. I made up the word. I decided it means adorable ponies going all over the place.
I think that this term probably means something going all over the place. I'm making him sit down.
Alright, should I be concerned about asking Jinx here what the Urban Dictionary says?
He just says that they're a hoe, so you called the ponies a hoe.
No. Slooping's a good thing. It means they're being adorable.
Nope.
Look at that horse. He's so cool. That'll be cool. You know what's wrong with that stallion? He's not smooching that pony. He's adorable.
You just said before that there were stallions.
I mean, he shouldn't, but I'm just saying there's something wrong with him. But, oh, she's being... Yes, leave it. One pony, you just like... Where am I? She's just... No.
Which one was she? She was pinky red? I don't know. There she is. Salmon.
Salmon.
This is salmon.
Not salmon. No. She's being cool.
Here comes Michael Bay. I have to double check that there's not the same color scheme really close.
That's a stallion.
Here's Michael Bay.
Ugh. He doesn't make good movies. He makes movies with lots of explosions, but they're not good.
Oh, nope, I already got him.
I'm sure Michael Bay's made one good film. I just don't know what it is.
Transformers.
That's not it.
The first one.
That was an okay film. That wasn't a good film.
Titanic?
He made Titanic? I don't think he did.
No. He did not make Titanic.
I'm trying to remember. The guy who like went really deep in the ocean made Titanic, but I can't remember his name.
Spielberg?
I see.
James Cameron, there we go.
James Cameron. Yeah, that's the same guy who made Avatar. Which I think was only an okay movie, too.
Graphics are really good.
The graphics were really good, and I think that's what got it the attention that it got.
The one thing that I kind of liked, what I kind of liked about it was I was reading the Ender's Game books for a while, and
was good.
if you ever read Ender's Game, it's about a child's training to become like a military general during a time where it's basically like Starship Troopers, where bugs are invading. Mm-hmm. But book 2 is kind of has an Avatar feel to it. Not about people becoming the alien creatures, but about a civilization living on an alien planet with a nearby alien species, and how we're us trying to interpret things that they're doing from a human perspective, and how it's horribly wrong a lot of the time. But it was
that sounds interesting, actually.
The Ender's Game book is really good, but
there's a movie.
There's a movie.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I recommend reading the book because a lot of the stuff in the movie doesn't make sense unless you read the book. But it is one of those things of you do not look up or even watch the trailer or anything without either watching it or reading the book, because the way that progresses is better if you know nothing.
Maybe after I finish Murky,
I have the book. It's right behind you.
I'll read it on my phone or something. If I take that book, I'll get like peanut butter stains or something on it. And they'll be angry with me.
There's like 8 or 9 books in the Ender Game series. I just haven't got around to them because I finished book 2, and then I started book 3, but they work with time dilation. So in there they can travel at light speeds, but time still travels the same. So if you're traveling 700 light years, you can get there in a week, but 700 years have passed. So
everyone you know is dead.
In that book, he is over 1,000 years old. He's the only person to have traveled like that because he's jumping all over the place. And to see how his name has changed over time, and it's really, really neat because it's like there's a religion in regards, but then also people that hate this one other guy, but he's both people, and so he's this dichotomy. But to him, it's only been a couple of years. But he is now looking at it from 1,000 years in the future. It's really, really interesting.
Sounds like an interesting book series, honestly. Very trippy.
But like I said, I've only read book 1 and 2. I have book 3. It just got really different from there, because there was like one of the colonies they were going to have some of them arrested. And they were going to be sent back to the main world for processing. But it's a death sentence. If they pick them up and they move them, everybody they've ever known will die while they're gone. So, is it that they didn't want that for sure? Because
it's a horrible sentence.
Yeah, because if you travel 50 years that way, by the time you get there, everybody you knew or loved or died is dead. So it's really interesting.
It's horrid.
But it's fascinating in its own way. So,
oh sure,
the movie to me did a good job of taking the key moments from the book and putting it in a movie format. And I think that there are certain aspects of it that were actually very well executed. But the book had a ton more content, and was very, very, very good. I mean, that's in comparison, like, normally you would say, oh, the book's always going to be better. Actually, like The Expanse, I felt The Expanse books and The Expanse TV show were both evenly good. It's just that they were different. The book had more content, but the TV show went in different directions and showed things in a different way that actually was refreshing and cool. So I actually don't mind that at all, and I think that they are both evenly good. But when it comes to the Ender's Game, I think that I think a lot of it is time.
Yeah.
The Ender's Game book is one book that they're trying to fit into an hour-and-a-half movie, but with The Expanse, they're taking an entire book and they're cramming it into like 11 hours.
Yeah.
So they have a lot more time to expand.
I mean, can you imagine if they had just tried to do The Expanse as a movie? How cut down it would be?
If they had to do it as a movie, it depends. I think that they would have made it work, but they would have had to, because they put a lot of fluff in like the first 1 or 2 seasons that weren't really needed, or were never from the book. Like, remember the politician from The Expanse that the bad guy? He was basically the Secretary General, the Vice President, essentially.
He was pretty forgettable, but I remember him.
He was a bad guy for like the first 2 seasons, and in the book, he was a bad guy, but they barely showed him. The president was never in the book. Yeah. You saw one conversation with him, and never after that. But in the TV show, he was in there a lot. Actually, there was the whole introduction to the African preacher lady. She was in the full season before she was actually in the book. They had a whole arc of her knowing the president, but in the book, she didn't really have that. That never happened. Mm-hmm. So she did, I think, know him, but all those scenes were just thrown in. So they put a lot of stuff in there, I think, because they knew they wouldn't be able to fit they had more time to work with, so they expanded the universe, which is fine because the original writers were involved.
It's better to have too much time than not enough time to tell a story. For sure. That's why a lot
Yeah,
of
I'll eat it.
miniseries and stuff always have better stories. There's a derpy. Look at her go. Being adorbs. You sure you can't put one regular derpy in the audience?
Nope.
What?
Because I'm even without the lights on, I'm running at under 10 frames a second. That one derpy model will reduce my amount of potential models by like 5 or 6, probably more.
It's worth it though.
No. Pinky red. Which one is pinky red? I think it's it's that one. So that's good for this chair. Yep.
Oh, she's gonna have to cuddle that pony.
I forgot it wasn't changing from the butt to the center of the butt. So
Not a single pony in that entire audience is cuddling. I don't think that's very realistic.
do you just see ponies cuddling randomly in the show?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Did they do? You like nuzzle?
I'm over here, Bob. So I'm
Pretty sure I saw like
position all them and then I'll be done for the day.
one episode where Starlight and Trixie just straight up kissed. It's pretty amazing. You know the episode.
Yeah, but it's just you implying things because you want it to be true.
They totally kissed.
And this guy, like I thought, his hair stands out so much.
Hey, Classic.
Hello, Classic. It is going well. How's it going with you? Oh, don't think I'm radioactive yet. I have. Bright eyes. She's over there, so that's fine.
It's almost derpy. That was one of her 3 names. Bright eyes.
Almost Derpy is her name?
Well, Derpy's
No, this is Bright Thighs.
thighs? Wait, no. Ooh.
This was the names that were given, so I went with it.
Bright eyes instead of bright eyes.
Damn, look at them thighs. They're so smart.
That's smart.
Moon pie.
I like the idea of just one open seat right there because nobody wants to sit next to that pony because she's...
I could actually leave a couple seats empty. I mean, that makes sense.
Jesus.
Somebody went to go get popcorn during a presidential speech.
Yes, to get popcorn. I would hope this speech would be important enough that like there wasn't. But I could see like one open seat where somebody just really had to pee. Like it was just out of their hands at that point.
Out of their bladder too.
Yes.
Just leave a little puddle under the seat. I'm sorry.
It's like I didn't want to miss the historic speech implicating genocide.
They come back like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna murder them all. Great.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
I volunteer.
Poor changelings. You gotta kind of feel for them. As far as they're aware, their only food source is like
Oh, the last
emotions.
one we're grabbing, Darkness Eternal.
the best I've seen.
Oh, he's already right there too. So we're gonna put him by himself for a little bit. He's gonna go over here.
Hey, what if my only food source was like people's hair? Like that's all I could eat. I'd be attacking people for their hair all the time. And would it be my fault? No. I have to eat hair or I die. I'd be eating your hair for sure. What?
Who are you talking? You just sound look. You sound like you were going off with a conversation with somebody, but you're not actually talking to anybody.
I'm talking to you.
You just you were responding to yourself, like you were responding to like anger. Like I never said anything.
I'm just saying.
Stop eating hair.
That's saying the life of a changeling is sad.
He knows.
He knows. Because he's a changeling. Look at him. You know it.
It's like he's not a changeling. They found me out.
I disagree, Jinx. It's not a valid trade. You can't sacrifice Derpy for nothing. In fact, if he made the entire audience Derpy, it would save lots of frames. If every last one of those ponies was Derpy.
Let's see what this looks like.
That's a good idea. It's hemorrhaging so hard.
Well, I was saying that I don't want to go much below 2 frames a second. Mm-hmm. Right now I'm sitting at 2. And this group can be moved over here.
You're going to want to fill up the rest of that row.
Well, so it means that I could probably load one more group. So this...
You're going to load a whole other group.
This is 21. So I need 4... So this is 8, 9. And then... that's 17, 21. So the next group will fill up to this chair. And then this is 16, 20. So if I did one more group loaded, I could fill up to this chair. But that's not doable anyway. Because I'm going to mask, I can't fill up part row back here. I have to cut it at some row that I can like put a line through, which means it'd probably be just filling up this row. But actually the nice thing is if I render it and I render this group back here and remove this group, I can also remove this group. That'll save lots and lots of memory. So, because my concern is there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 chairs across here. But as this goes back, it gets to the point of 7, which means that these 4 rows are probably, it's only 3 rows.
You might just have to do
I might be able to fit it.
In 3.
So, but this is...
Are you going to try to do it in 2 instead of 3?
No, it'll be 3 renders.
For that one side?
No, this will be 2 renders.
Okay, so you are going to try for 2 on that side.
Because this is 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 3. But then this side is just 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's 15, 21. So 21 shares is 40. For the 84 ponies over here, and I currently have loaded. This whole group can be done in one go, I believe.
I think you already have more ponies there.
Well, because this is going to be 15, and this right now is 15.
Yeah.
And then all I need to do is fill a little back. So, okay. So yeah, I can do this in 3 renders.
Is Barry Punch still loaded?
No, she's gone.
Poor Barry.
I need to keep this separate because I need, like, right now everybody's very animated except for like this group right here that's just super stoic. So I need to go through and do their random animation. But once I do that, then I can start grabbing groups of 4 and copying them over. But a lot of that, so I think next stream I'm going to finish her eyebrows, and I probably won't fill the audience on stream because I have a feel that's going to be super boring of just getting the file prepped, unless people really want me to. But that's going to be putting them all in position, saving a file, then just shifting them all into different chairs, saving the files, shifting them all into those chairs, saving the file.
The audience is my favorite part, though. Look at them. Oh, they're so cool. That one's yawning. Her. She called her. No. Needs her snoot back. Why you steal?
Can't boop if there's no stoop.
No, there's no. She just looks like she's like in some sort of agony. Like, oh. That's weird. It's very weird. No. Oh, you held it there. Look what he's doing to that poor pony. Getting trippy. Talking about Picasso paintings before. You're achieving them. It's very trippy.
Okay. We're saved. And we're done. But we should actually be able to get this done. And then I gotta figure out how to... rendering it is easy, but then how do I get the rendered files to the person I need to send them to?
Email?
No, because it has to be lossless.
Oh.
I'm not going to send them a file that... I'm not going to send them a compressed file to be compressed.
What's the heck that? What's that site I use? Like Dropbox.
And the Dropbox is a 2 gig limit for free. And I have a Dropbox, but it's mostly full.
Yes, and put it in the mail.
Yeah, to Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. I will be back Friday. I'm thinking it'll be minimal what I'll do for that video, unless I poke at it beforehand. But once I'm done with that, I think the main thing is getting back to rocket science. Unless I have to end up doing a different portion of that, because there's the little animation at the beginning. But I was informed to do that, but I'll see. If I do, it'd be nice. Send anywhere, never played with that. Retransfer might be able to hand it. I don't know. I have to look into that. I don't know where my pen is, but I'll look into it a little bit more. I only need to send one file, but it's probably gonna a lossless of that long is probably gonna be a few gigs. So,
I'll come back for the cat.
no cat this time.
There's always a cat.
Yeah, there's always a cat. Okay, so we're gonna do. So he's not just sitting there strangely watching me.
Well, I've been sitting here watching you this whole time.
Yeah, no, but now you're watching me strangely.
Standing.
Yeah, when you're standing, it's anxious. You're making me weird.
Yeah, cat. I can leave now.
Okay.
I am seated.
Katie went away.
Why?
Because I'm evil. Okay, have a cat. All right, have a good one. Bye bye.